Hello, my Illinois friends from my Com 110 class. I'm David. I'm coming for you from my Persuasive Speech video here. A little bit of a change of scenery. I'm in Georgia visiting some family this week, and I decided it was a nice 70 degrees today, so I thought I'd step outside and film my video. So there's bugs flying around, there's some squirrels, neighbor has a donkey, so sorry if you hear any outdoor noises that may interrupt my presentation, but let's get started. Today I kind of wanted to go a little bit off the wall with my persuasive speech video, but it is something I'm passionate about because we all have to communicate, right? Communication has been a key part of human advancement throughout history. I'm a history student, so you study the different forms of communication that mankind has had throughout our existence, and this class especially teaches us to communicate through speeches and things like that. But the pen is mightier than the sword. We've heard that phrase before, and I just kind of wanted to take the time to convince you the next time you got to write something down, put down that boring old pencil. Pick up a nice, sturdy, reliable pen. Right? It may sound silly, but hear me out on this, right? A pen is professional. It's adult. It commands respect. In some instances, it's good for the environment. We'll get to that a little later. It has a long history, stretching all the way through mankind. They first showed up in China in the first millennium BC, and eventually the Egyptians revolutionized the pen, almost making an early version of the ballpoint pen in 300 BC. This comes from Encyclopedia Britannica. They would take reeds, they'd put a point on them, dip them in ink, and this eventually kind of led to the idea of the quill. And actforlibraries.com talks about the fountain pen developing from the quill in Romania in 1827, and eventually they became commercialized in America in the 1880s. And the modern ballpoint pen was designed by a Hungarian, Argentinian inventor Laszlo Brio in World War II, and that too was eventually commercialized in America by Gimbel's department store to be kind of a luxury item. And I think that's kind of where the idea of the pen being a luxury item comes from. That comes from the BBC, an author named Stephen Dowling, and it is kind of true that the pen is kind of a luxury item. History is great, but let's talk practicality about why a pen would be better than a pencil. I want you to picture this. You're sitting in a conference room for a very important meeting, right? You got a notebook there in front of you, you're about to sit down, you're about to engage in this long and important discussion with some very professional people. Do you want to pull a Ticonderoga pencil out of your pocket with a little eraser cap on the end? Or do you want to pull out a sleek pencil that almost echoes through the room when you click it? It's professional. It commands respect. There's a blog called Two Writing Teachers talking about the differences between pens and pencils. They point out that a pen is constant, reliable. You don't have to sharpen it. The smooth, clear lines of a pencil that that have the different millimeters of thickness to their writing. It doesn't fade like a pencil does. Over time, a pencil will fade. If you journal like I do, I always write with a pen for my journal because someday, the pencil marks will fade, but the ink stays there forever. Colin McCaunt of the Pen Shop continues this point by saying that pens come in a variety of colors, the different lines and thicknesses, and I came up with this phrase that I think really capitalizes that idea, an air of creativity that a pen can bring over a pencil. Diversify your professionalism. Think about that for a second. You can be professional by using a pen, but you can also be creative. You can be yourself. Think about it that way. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I talked earlier about how, in some instances, using a pen over a pencil may be better for the environment. If you saw my informative speech video about electric cars, you know that I'm a bit of a sucker for helping out the environment. I love the outdoors and all that stuff. There's an article on Sustainable Citizen by Savannah Steinfeld that points out that pens are made of plastic, can be recycled and reused and such. Pencil production, you think of a wooden pencil, they got to cut down trees to make it happen. There's a pulp mill not too far from where I'm at where they make, take wood and they process it and things like that. Think of all the trees that get cut down for that. I understand that they have to replant a lot of them, but trees are a renewable resource, but only to a certain extent. Now, I know what you're thinking. You won't have that problem with a mechanical pencil, and that's true to that effect. Mechanical pencils are made out of plastic, much like pens and all that, but let's talk about how they make the lead and the graphite. They take those materials through a process called open pit mining. And this is something that comes from, I had it right here. It's also from Sustainable Citizen. Never mind. Open pit mining completely destroys ecosystems around it. It's basically just digging up the ground and the dirt. And plus, pencils that they make today come from with a lot of man-made materials from them, a lot of chemicals, a lot of unnatural, just stuff like rubber production and all kinds of stuff that's thrown into these pencils. But a pen, it's plastic. It's not wonderful for the environment, but you can reuse it. It lasts a lot longer, more sustainable, I think is the word I'm looking for. So there's some more icing on the cake for you. I wanted to throw in a soft endorsement here when it comes to pens as well. And there's a website out there called The Gentleman Stationer, and they have a lot of really high-end stationery stuff. But they did a review of the Pilot G2 pen. And for pen snobs that, like the $100 pens and stuff like that, they really gave it some high marks and really talked it up. The Pilot G2 pen, you've seen them when you shop for school supplies and all that, and you probably picked them up because they are a reliable, cheap pen. They last a long time. They're elegant, smooth, clear lines. I got a pack of them about a year ago. Look at all those different colors I got in there. Had it about a year. They're fantastic. I haven't had one wear out on me or go bad on me since. But, just like that, they're great for all purposes. They last a long time, not very expensive. That pack was about $20 and I got it on sale for $15. A long-term investment like that is wonderful. Pens versus pencils. Some of you might prefer the pencil. I'll give you the pencil has some uses if you want to just sketch something out. If you cut wood, you can mark something with a pencil. But, when you sign a check, you're not going to use a pencil. I don't even think you legally can use a pencil. You have to use a pen when you sign a check. So think about that. You're signing a nice check, about to put some money in your pocket. You click it. Smooth, clear line, no ink spilling out. It's just perfect and crisp. Next time you pick up some, you gotta make a post-it note or something, think about picking up a pen and really elevating, if you will, your writing. Diversify your creativity. I want you to think about that next time you just let that marinate with you. Diversify your creativity. Everybody have a blessed day. It's been great watching everybody's videos throughout the semester. Have a good one.